Bobby knows ball. Hey, let's talk ball. We're the ball knowers and we just talk ball.
Couple guys talking ball.
Thank you, Shoddy. Let's talk about ball. Let's talk about defensive coordinators here in Below the Belt, which is sponsored by D&M Leasing and Window Nation. We're also going to get into some Cowboys roster decisions on the offensive side of the ball, which doesn't seem like it needs much tweaking. More on that in just a moment. First, the defensive coordinator search. Ian Rappaport tweeting yesterday that the Cowboys maintain their interest in one Jim Leonard. It'll be Jonathan Gannon interviewing today. Christian Parker from the Philadelphia Eagles will interview Wednesday. He did not release a timeline for Durante Jones, but he is also the other candidate that they're going to talk to in person. But Jim Leonard, he did identify saying that is still somebody that they are interested in, somebody that they plan to talk to. So it does look like we've settled around these four individuals. Jim Leonard from the Broncos, Christian Parker from the Eagles, the recently fired Jonathan Gannon, and then Durante Jones from the Vikings, which I'm fine with all four of these guys, I think. I think all four of these are encouraging hires. I do think the one that would piss off Cowboys fans the most would probably be Jonathan Gannon. Just because...
Because the audio clips?
Well, the audio clips and also...
And the results?
Just because they're going to look at it and they're going to go, okay, you got the guy who he's worked under Zimmer and Eberflus most recently before then running his own defense and then getting the Cardinals job. And he's somebody who has the cringy clips out there. He's somebody who the defense...
Who drove over here?
The way he says it, too. Who drove over here?
Yeah, it's like slow-mo.
He was not sure what to do. And then I still can't get over...
I still don't understand what he's talking about.
We haven't
Whatever.
pulled the clips yet. I need to pull it for a drop, especially if he does get hired here. That clip I showed you during the break a couple weeks ago of him going like... And then they goes...
I watched it.
He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, you're explosive. It's like, gosh, you're Fernando Mendoza as a coach.
No, don't insult him.
Don't insult Fernando.
But...
Fernando at least would have gone, he would have been like Brad Evans.
He would have been, you're flipping explosive, bro.
Yeah.
he would have been really gung-ho and excited about it. But it has settled around these four. I think any one of these four is an upgrade over Matt Eberflus and someone that the Cowboys should feel good about. So it does feel like those four are the ones that they're kind of coalescing around. Now for Cowboys offseason decisions. The offense.
By the way, I don't think I read Raheem Morris's name on any of those Vegas odds lists.
I did not see it either.
I think the Cowboys did not get good feedback about him when they asked around. I don't think that they got encouraging.
Why don't you do your own feedback?
That's how you determine who you want to talk to, I think. You've got to winnow down the list based on what do other people around the league say about him.
You know what? This is why my dad, and he took this, I don't remember who he took this from, he would never buy me used books in college.
Why?
He said, what if the other person was a complete moron that underlined all the books?
That is a fantastic point, and I love your dad for that.
What do you mean? Like, that they crossed out what you should be reading?
You know how, like, people will highlight
they're
and underline
stressing
stuff?
what they think is important?
Yeah, he goes, what if that person's a complete idiot?
You naturally end up reading the stress and emphasis of somebody who's dumb. I love that thought process, actually. Where did he either got that from somewhere or he's
I don't know
a
where
genius.
he got it from. But it's like,
He wasn't a genius.
You take...
I love you, Ralph.
You take the information somebody gives you, but you still talk to them. You still interview them.
Yeah.
Even if they say, nah, this guy's tough to work with.
Right.
Well, maybe that person that told you that.
How do you start? Where do you start? That's any job, though, right? Like, I mean, you generally get an idea.
There's no excuse not to talk to Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick. There was no excuse not to talk to Bill Belichick.
I think
none whatsoever.
Belichick, they know. Like, I think they know whether or not they...
They don't. Bill Belichick is not in an intricate presentation broken down what he thought about the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
I at least talked to you to get that info.
Right, but they know. I think they know instantly could they work with him. The others, I agree. They know they did not think they could work with him. So the others, I agree on. Vrabel and Johnson, you should probably talk to him regardless. But Belichick, like, he was a GM they dealt with in trade discussions and free agent stuff for years. I think they probably knew, like, we don't match. And then Belichick may have felt like we don't match. I don't know.
Well, if you have an opportunity to sit down for 3 hours with maybe the greatest football mind of all time,
you just do it. You just take the 3 hours.
You take the 3 hours and learn about yourself.
Kellen Moore, they interviewed Kellen Moore for the job. They didn't want him. No, I think that when you look at, especially knowing there's going to be a feeding frenzy and it's so wide open, you have to prioritize people that you want to interview. And if they had been told Raheem Morris is not somebody that they would match with, or if they were like, hey, it doesn't really match with you guys, or the concepts that he believes are not stuff that you go for, I'm fairly certain they got not great feedback about Raheem Morris from some people. And so that's why he was not prioritized on their list. But looking at the offensive side of the ball for the Cowboys, biggest blinking lights this offseason seem to be on the defensive side of the ball, but the offense still has their own questions. The biggest thing we're looking at this offseason is George Pickens returning and Javonte Williams returning, in all likelihood, on the offensive side of the ball, of just handle those things. And we're all in agreement, right? Like, yeah, work something out with both of those guys. You'd like them here for the next couple of years. That's not anything where it's like, I'm kind of 50-50. Well, John Machota took a look at the offensive side of the ball, and he's kind of doing a roster inventory and breaking down the list and saying, hey, here's who's in, here's who's out, here's who's on the fence at each position. So quarterback, Prescott and Milton both in. Running back, he's got Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, Hunter Lipke. Those guys are in. Out, Miles Sanders, who is such a forgotten man after he got injured.
Forgot he was on this year's team. That was last year.
That was Bobby's running back before the year.
It was a total miss. He was not as good as Javonte Williams was. And then on the fence, he has Malik Davis. Does Malik Davis feel on the fence? He's a restricted free agent, so they can bring him back if they want.
I like him.
He may be an exclusive rights free agent, which means they can have him here if they want him.
Who's your two?
I mean,
you can like them all you want. Who's the two?
I trust Davis more than Blue right now.
Who's your two?
Davis.
Well, that last game, there was like two runs that Blue had in that Giants game that are standing out to me. But, I can't go by two runs. So I'd say Davis.
I'll go Jaden.
At receiver, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Kevontae Turpin, Ryan Flanoy, and Jalen Tolbert out. On the fence, Jonathan Mingo, Paris Campbell, Trayshawn Holden. I think Kevontae Turpin needs to be on the bubble here.
He made another All-Pro. Made another Pro.
Don't even care. Pro Football Writers of America. They had their All-NFL team, their All-NFC team, and their All-AFC team. George Pickens does not make it at receiver on even the All-NFC team, but that's because the All-NFL receivers were the NFC guys. And it's hard to argue that George was better than Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think everybody would say those are the guys.
Yep.
So that's fine. But Brandon Aubrey was the number one kicker, the All-NFL kicker, which feels a little off because I don't see how you would make it anybody other than Cam Little from the Jaguars after what he did.
He missed a crucial kick that cost them a chance at the game.
And Aubrey missed like 6 of them at the end of the season.
Brandon Aubrey's first half of the season was invincible.
Yeah, and
it was great.
Yeah, he won that award by about week 8, 9. Yeah. That's the reality of it. It didn't matter what he did the second half of the season,
which wasn't much at all. But then Kevontae Turpin gets picked for All NFC returner again, which just shows me.
Doesn't like a returner?
The Pro Football Writers Association, which loves to talk about all three phases, just like Jason Garrett and others, they don't actually watch that third phase either because they put Kevontae Turpin up there.
And they're in charge of the Hall of Fame.
But I do think that Kevontae Turpin is somebody who should be a little more kind of dicey on the fence there. Now, here's the one that was interesting to me on offensive line. John has on the fence Marcellus Johnson, who signed a futures contract, Nick Leverett, Hakeem Adeniji, Rob Jones, and that's it. And nobody on out. He has Terrence Steele on the roster. And he has Guyton and Nathan Thomas on the roster. And I've said...
Guyton's on the roster.
I agree. I'm just saying that the collection of 3 tackles that you're trying to figure out who you need to sort out, he has all 3 of them here. So I think that the way to roll forward is Terrence Steele. That Terrence Steele should play right tackle, Guyton should play left, and they should just roll with it next year. That's what I would do. But I'm a little surprised that John has it here. He writes, the Cowboys need as many healthy offensive linemen as possible. Health has been an issue for the group for the last several years. The biggest question on the in list is Steele. The Cowboys could choose to move on this season. Guyton or Thomas could then start at right tackle, and either Smith or Thomas at left tackle. The problem is that Guyton has struggled to stay healthy in his first 2 seasons. He missed 7 games in 2025. Smith's ability to play multiple positions at a high level is a key piece in potentially moving on from Steele. Tyler Smith does not want to play tackle. That was made pretty clear by Tyler Smith at the end of the season.
Yep.
Guyton had been good there. And Terrence Steele has done a good job as a run blocker, but the problem is that you're a team that looks like it needs to pass the ball primarily. Even with the effectiveness in the run game, they seem more like a pass to set up the run than a run to set up the pass team. So the ability to drop back, the ability to withstand pressure is going to be a big thing for them.
Shoddy wants to run the ball.
I don't know that he does. He says he does, but at the end of the day, we played that audio from Collision Low Crossers, that book about the Jets 2010 or 2011 season. And they had that clip in there that when Bill Callahan would start playing the run clips in the film room, Shoddy would go, ugh. Wake me when the running game clips are over. Because he's a quarterback. He wants to throw the ball. He wants to air it out a little bit. It was the most aggressive passing
Marty
team.
Schottenheimer's son.
It was the most aggressive passing team in the NFL this season was the Dallas Cowboys. So the ability to protect is going to be a big thing for them. But here's the problem. If you're moving on from Steele, you can't run Thomas and Guyton out there. That's not possible to do that. So if I tell you can move on from Steele, fine, open that up, you get $9 million, whatever it is. Are you then comfortable saying, I'm going to spend $15 to $20 million on a free agent tackle, or I have to use one of my first-round picks on a tackle?
Oh, God.
It's not great options. You're spending a ton of money on tackle, you're drafting a tackle high, or you're just rolling it back with Steele, who gave up a bunch of pressures last year.
I saw that first-round tackles hit at about a 70% success rate.
One of the most glowing, positive.
And you trust the team at O-line drafting?
And I do. I do think that when you're good at drafting a specific position, you should really lean into it.
One of the top offensive linemen available in free agency is Braden Smith, the Colts right tackle. So it's a right tackle. It's somebody who's out there thought of really, really well. Not a Pro Bowler, but a really strong, solid offensive lineman who spent the first 5 years of his NFL career being coached by Clayton Adams. So if they're looking at this and they're looking at potentially moving on, Braden Smith would make sense, but he's going to be a $20 million player. And you've already got all these different resources that you have to fill up.
Rasheed Walker, Green Bay tackle. I'm leaning towards just keeping Steele then with all my needs.
And it's odd because I think when a lot of people look at it, just in a vacuum, you go, yeah, you can free up money by letting Steele go. Yeah, go find another solution. But then when you start drilling down on it, it's like, these things might cost you more money and more capital than you really have resources to spend.
I can't spend $20 million on a tackle.
We've talked about it. 7 starting caliber players you probably need on defense minimum. That's 2 first-round picks and 5 free agent or trade acquisitions. That's a lot that you have to spend. And I don't know that you can afford to just say, I don't really love Steele. Yeah, but you can get by with him.
Yeah.
And then that may be the thing that breaks the tie.
Coach him up, Nate Thomas.